para naufragar, buscando visa, carne de la mar, buscando visa, la razón de ser, buscando visa para no volver.
Lo que llaman parte 110.
Lo vas a hacer.
This year, on February 7th, UP students and faculty participated as international election observers in the 2010 presidential election in their host country, Costa Rica. This was the second time UPs participated as election observers, with the first one being conducted in El Salvador last year.
The University for Peace has been involved in organizing election observation missions in the capacity of international mission.
Elections all over the world have come to be one of the most defining characteristics of a democracy, giving the people the right to choose who they find best suited to represent them. Election disputes in countries like Kenya, Zimbabwe, and Honduras have led to violence and killings. To ensure that elections are free and fair, many government institutions have set up guidelines on what constitutes a successful and legitimate election. Due to this, the Department of Peace and Conflict Studies at UPs have incorporated an annual election observation into their studies. The UP's mission represented 35 countries, making it the largest mission of international election observers accredited by the Supreme Electoral Tribunal in Costa Rica. The mission was composed of students from the programs of International Peace Studies and Media, Peace and Conflict Studies. The students were well prepared of the election, having been invited to sessions of the electoral process at the Supreme Election Tribunal and training from the department head, Victor Valle. The day before the election, students were at a press conference with two of the leading candidates, Laura Chinchilla and Otto Guevara. At 5 a.m. on February 7th, the UP students arrived at the tribunal where they would divide up into groups of 4 to spread out and cover over 20 polling stations in the Central Valley. This ranged from Tres Rios to Alajuela to San Pablo de Heredia. The location where the UP's mission was staged is a very important area in terms of percentage of voters. Of the 4.6 million people in Costa Rica, around 70% live in the Central Valley. All teams from UPs were present at the polling stations by 6 a.m. in time for stations to open at 7 a.m. The students were ready to spend more than 12 hours observing different stages of the electoral process. During the day, a UP's media crew moved from station to station in order to capture the election procedure, candidates voting, and the students' experiences.
Well, no, I think it's a great opportunity for the students to come out and see what an election is all about in a different country. Rosebell and I were talking earlier about how the differences between our countries and what they do here. And I think it's a bit more exciting here. My country is very boring.
The situation is very peaceful, so that its situation is very open and free.
As international observers, the students were given access to the voting rooms, enabling them to effectively observe the voting procedure.
As a part of the mission, I think it's great. I think overall it's well accepted, and people think that it legitimizes the whole democracy and the whole voting process. That's what we've been told by many citizens.
Any problems while you've been here, or any irregularities?
So far we didn't see any problems.
Okay.
And there's no violent issues yet.
Was there any difference which is very different from what you expected before?
Not really. It's a little more relaxed than I thought it would be. But that's just coming from my country. It's always very like you don't talk to anybody. You're behind a curtain. It's like very secret. But here it's more casual.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about this experience here?
Okay. Much fun.
Some of the room is quite impressed. Like this room, the lady, she's really kind to other people. Some lady come from disabled and she's willing to help a lot. And every single person that when they come, she tried to explain, how can they, voting for this one for president, this one for another one like this.
Okay.
Extremely exciting. Watching those people vote 1 and then 2 and then ad nauseum. It was excellent.
How was the UP's mission? How do you find that? Is it worth it? This experience?
I think our presence here added some legitimacy. It's pretty uneventful election. But.
Thank you.
The media crew and UP's observers staged at Escuela Joaquín García Monge in Desamparados were lucky to see the festivities and loud cheering when Laura Chinchilla cast her vote.
I think that we got the best polling station out here. Laura Chinchilla is coming out to visit, voting a little bit.
It is great. A lot of people full of love and a lot of enthusiasm.
Muchísima gente con mucho entusiasmo.
On the other side of town, Mr. Guevara cast his vote in a less crowded station at Julia Fonseca in Oruca. He was accompanied by his girlfriend, who both took the time to talk with the UP's media crew.
UP students, hello. University for Peace here in Costa Rica. Hey, hello. How are you doing, you guys?
I'm all the international students.
All the international students. Let's vote for a change. Let's make a change in Costa Rica, voting for Otto Guevara and Movimiento Libertario.
We are gonna do it. Costa Rica's gonna do it. Otto's gonna do it.
For the most part, the voting stations ran smoothly, with polling officials ensuring voting privacy and keeping waiting lines to a minimum. The excitement in the streets of San Jose was well visible, with deafening honking from different campaign teams as their last attempt at rallying support. As the polls closed, many voters were anxious to know who their next leader would be.